Okay, this is basis news for September the 13th, and we've had some very important information that Karen sent us. This is about a development in the Soviet Union, in Russia, sorry, and it's actually the actual source of this is on Facebook, but this is a very important map because the compass rose that shows the center in Tomsk, Russia, of the collation station. What is really interesting is looking at the wiki page for the technical school that has discovered something rather disturbing. Now, these are quite a few Russian sort of names involved with this um, energy system that's located in the center of Russia. Um, we have Dmitry Andreevich Sedev of the university. These are of the university was suspended by the European University Association. That's the EUA. Um, as the EUA following support for the 2022 Russian invasion of Ukraine. There's a number of other people involved here, and some of them are. I'm just going to list them here and get their names as closely as I can. The Russian invasion of Ukraine by the Russian Union of Rectors in March 2022 for being diametrically opposed to the European values that they're committed to when joining the EUA, which is the European University Association. That's Dmitry. Another gentleman here was suspended. He was suspended. TPU was suspended in March 2022 by the Conference of European Schools for Advanced Engineering Education and Research. There's a further one here is CESAR, that's CESAER, and the European University Association, and the EUA, that's the EUA, School of Earth Sciences and Engineering. This means that uh, this outage may be the demise of those in EUA associated stations. Now, this is hopeful. This hopefully will change the event that happened yesterday, which is what this is about: some kind of massive energy release. Um, Now, this hopefully will change with the event yesterday, as above, which we are seeing now, and the huge changes that are being revealed in the Ukraine and with the bioweapons and biolabs that have been destroyed. Kind of deciding on the latter, then buying the deep state rhetoric of the UK city of the London Crown. Uh, let's hopefully this will be resolved soon. The next 10 days, and this is what this is about. There's some kind of massive energy explosion or energy weapon, which was, or energy technology, which this guy Dmitry Andreevich Sedev was associated with this situation in Tomsk, Russia. The next 10 days is a technological blackout. This is an indicator, I feel, that's the author of this document, that we are on the cutting edge of scientific and database quantum computer knowledge. And we have to be willing to endure until the entire system is purged of the archaic and corrupted internet. So this is some kind of device which has been operated, and this is basically just breaking news. The sort of stuff that I've been covering is the scalar energetic technologies, energy systems, energy weapons, very advanced material, and it's very important to understand that there are energy weapon or energy scientific technologies which are being deployed and are in work. Now, one of the key things about being at the Spacecom a couple of days ago was that the number of satellites and the number of objects being seen. Now, there was an Elon Musk launch, um, and that was cut when a large piece of something seemed to be coming up behind the first stage, and the cameras looking down saw this huge thing. What it was, we don't know. There's a couple of frames involved there. Just to sort of see it. Once it came into shot, was there for about half a second, and then they cut the feed. So there is a lot of stuff flying around up there. It seems to be getting lower, and that's what's happening with regard to this stuff. Now, the other thing in this fast blast is I've received some really, really disturbing news from, and we'll get Sean back up. Sean David Morton sent me an email on the 12th of September, and reading this out, Sean David Morton has just appeared in two major bases interviews at bases 124 part 1 and 2. This is what you get if you look on YouTube or Rumble. Basically, because we're talking such important stuff, we couldn't risk it being on YouTube, so we had to cut that, and that would be available. Sean David Morton on bases 124 will be on Brighteon and Rumble Direct, as opposed to the relay through YouTube. Just to recap that I'm running the Bases Project on YouTube as Bases Censored, the Bases Project Censored, and Bases Restricted, and also the now twice struck Stepping Stones to Awareness. They're all on YouTube. And Elena Denan's very important interview I did in earlier this year was taken down by YouTube because of what was being said about an important hive type mind, Borg type signal associated with the injections. However, that's another thing altogether. We're talking about Sean David Morton, and he sent me an email on the 12th of September. I just got out of ICU, where the tumours ripped open and began to gush blood, and I was going to bleed to death or drown in my own blood. So they put me in a tracheotomy tube to save my life. Now I have a tube in my belly to be able to be fed through syringe. Not a lot of fun. I have taken every alternative medical therapy known to man, and they have all failed. And now I have no choice but to take chemo and radiation, or I'm going to die. And that's Dr. Sean David Morton, PhD. So this is a shout out to Sean. Some material he's been talking about, particularly the old days of the Dulce base, with the scientists appealing for funding to mix animal and plant DNA, which was carried out. So that's the real freak show, and there's a tape on that, which is not available, but that's a Dulce base going back to the 1980s, and this big change which has happened in 1987, which has allowed a lot of this stuff to come out. And well, that's the thing about Sean. So let's just wish Sean a lot of luck and fighting spirit, and maybe those med beds will be available to help him. So let's all work together on that. We do have the Vatican Bank sort of pulling in its assets, which has had a major impact on the world, and that must be in by the 30th of September. There are other commentators far more qualified to give all the detailed relevant issues that involves, but this is just for Sean and everybody who knows him, and all the best to Sean.